Welcome to the Sunny and Share pod. This week we'll be rounding off the first double game week of the season, covering some major movements in the head-to-head league table, and also introducing a very special guest, the creator and founder of Rival FPL, Mr. Greg. But before we do that, let's check in with our co-commissioners. How are you doing, Alex? I think you've got a paddle update for us, haven't you?
I have got a paddle update. Obviously, we started last week. We mentioned it last week that Balf, myself, Rafaro, and Jennings are currently playing paddle every Wednesday and a couple of other nights a week. So, me and Jennings actually got battered by Rafaro and Balf last night.
I knew you were going to say that. I just knew you were going to say that.
After dominating them last week, they came back with pure tactics this week, and Jennings also forgot how to serve this week. Like, there was all sorts of weird and wonderful serves going on. But yeah, it was good fun. It's good fun. Obviously, there's fancy people in the chat, so if anyone's interested, give me a shout. We're playing in Farnham at Hurlands, so just give us a shout if you want to join into our WhatsApp group. We've actually got a space going for next Wednesday because Rafaro's out for drinks. It's letting us down already. So if anyone's interested, Balf needs a partner.
Fuck that.
But yeah,
there's not going to be many hands put up for that. I'll tell you that. Jesus.
Well, or Jennings or I want a partner. We can mix it around. After last night, just a bit frustrated with Jennings, so I might just.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe those two can go together. I just need a new partner.
How are you doing, Siege?
Good, mate. Thanks. Been strange taking a week off fantasy, but actually equally very nice. I'm not going to lie. It was really getting to me. But
I feel refreshed.
Refreshed. Had a topsy-turvy game against Trav, back and forth, and the old triple captain came through last night. But I think I was up once, then I was down about 40 points at one stage, and then even Gabrielle was pretty shy. Rice actually came through for me last night. But I just wanted to, as well, compliment Butler's new trim.
Yes.
It's been about 5 years coming. He's officially bicked. He's got rid of his wispy bit of hair, but actually, it looks
so much
very
better,
good,
mate.
Very
well done.
It's even more shiny in the light.
I was going to say it's proper shining there, boy. It's looking good, mate. No, so
get sunburn under this light.
I say you might do. Yeah, you might need a bit of factor 50 on there.
It's weird. You look younger. I know that doesn't make sense, but you do actually look a bit younger. If anything,
Thanks,
I'd say.
mate. Yeah, that's what I was going
definitely suits with the beard as well. You got it.
Yeah.
Not that I want to make your head too big, but fair twos. But let's talk about you, Ben. How are you feeling? You're an absolute slump, aren't you?
Oh my god, mate! I'm dropping like a stone. Actually, it's really weird. I've got mixed emotions because I actually got a very decent score.
Yeah, you were so unlucky.
81, something like that. I was just really unlucky to come up against the biggest scorer of the week, Andy Jackson, with 98. I've actually rose in the global rankings back up to the top 56k in the world, but I'm third now in the league.
Yeah, it must be painful looking at some of those other people's scores this week and thinking, why did I have to play Andy Jackson who got 98 points?
100%, and we'll get into that very shortly. But yeah, mixed emotions. I'm enjoying Newcastle's little renaissance as well.
Yeah.
We're actually remembering how to play away from home. Defeated Karabag.
That could have been 10-0.
Could have been 10. I don't understand because did Chelsea draw with them at some point in this season? 2-2.
2-2. That's when that Hasso had one of the worst individual performances I've ever seen, to be fair.
They were blown away like a carrier bag last night, weren't they?
Yeah. The highlights. First half, it could have been 8-0 first half.
Yeah.
They missed. Gordon missed another one-on-one, and Barnes missed a one-on-one as well. I was like, what is going on?
I know, it's crazy. So yeah, feeling a lot better actually, because we also beat Aston Villa in the FA Cup. So it's been a bit of a mediocre season for us, but we're doing well in the cups, so I'll take it. But yeah. Anyway, talking about leagues, let's round up our leagues because there's some major moves in the league after this double game week. I think this is one of the only. I think there's only 2 double game weeks this season.
Yeah, it's not going to be many.
it's not going to be many, or
I think
like
the
only one.
the next. I think the next one will be when the FA Cup semis are on. I think, and
Yeah.
that's right towards the back
Yeah.
end of the season.
And I think it'll be City as well with the double game week. It's only one team with the double game week, I think. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I think
But,
it is. I think it is.
But yeah, so this actually feels a bit drawn out, doesn't it? Because we started last weekend, and it's now Thursday. So let's run through the results, right? We start with me, 81 versus Andy Jackson with 98. So
I wish you could do it in order that I've got on screen.
Have you not got it on screen in the?
No, don't worry, Ben. I will find them and I'll get it on the screen, and you just carry on.
It's a different order for you. Yeah, I did order for me. So yeah. Basically,
you do your order and I'll work it out on for those who are watching on YouTube. I will get the stats up.
Congratulations through gritted
4
teeth.
losses in a row for Ben.
Oh, don't bring it up. That is terrible. That is terrible. Yeah, congratulations through gritted teeth to Andy Jackson, who scored comfortably the highest score of the game week, 98. Nearly hit triple figures with a win over myself. One of only 4 managers in the league to captain Rice, and was rewarded with a 28-point return. Played his bench boost chip too. So yeah, he went for Rice because he knew I would go for Gabriel. He knew I'd go for an Arsenal defender. So very well played, I think, to all the managers in the league that went for Rice over Gabriel. I thought for sure that Arsenal were going to keep a clean sheet at least against Wolves. Maybe not against Brentford, but I was feeling pretty confident in this matchup. And then, yeah, nothing went right for me, really. So moving swiftly on, because I don't want to talk about it too much. Ryan stopped me with 53 points versus Dip Your Toasting with 68. Dassy versus Nixie. Let's just give Alex a second to find that. That is a very, very comfortable routine victory for Nixie, who goes top of the league. Stu's grip on first place lasted just 1 game week after he forgot the deadline. So Dan pips him to top spot. 4 of Dan's players hit double figures for this. So nice little score there of 68. João Pedro making the difference in this matchup because I don't think Dassy has him. So yeah.
Just looking at Dassy's team. Well, what's...
Who's that Wolves player in it? Who is that?
He got 5 points, to be fair.
Who is it though?
Gomez. I think it's defensive midfielder. Maybe he had him in for the double game week.
Yeah, no, he did nothing. He got 2 points and then 3 points because they kept a clean out against Forest. But I suppose 5 is better. But,
it's just Dassy's form as well. He's only won 1 in his last 5. By the way, I did look at the table. I just want to talk about Dassy. I was talking to Balf about this last night. He could potentially be in the running for a 3rd year of a trophy build. He's only 6 points off the bottom. Just saying.
But that's much more comfortable than he's been in previous years, right? I mean, the last couple of years, he's been rock bottom.
True, but he's in the worst form out of anyone down that end of the table, probably apart from Charlie.
Nixie absolutely flying, by the way, as well.
I know. It's so annoying because I swear he was top for a long time last season as well, and it wasn't necessarily due to overall points.
Today, he just sent me the eyes emoji this morning, and he said, "I was just chatting to him about it." But I think we need to get him on. He keeps saying we need to get him on because he's got serious strategies.
Well, let's get him on next week.
I think we should. This is a shout out to Nixie because he's got serious strategies about going into the playoffs, and mate, he's got it all set up. He's got it all sorted. Obviously, I didn't sort him out last year.
But he had that sorted last year, and he didn't help.
Yeah, no. But he's
got one eye on the playoffs already, which is fair. 4 wins in his last 5, right? And he's won his last 2.
Come on, we've got to get through this.
Sorry. Next up is the Medcraft derby. Nick versus Luke. Nick beat Luke, his brother, by 2 points. Unbelievable scenes. Both captain Timber randomly, as the Medcraft brothers made up 2 of the 3 managers in the league to captain the Arsenal defender. I think Andy Farmfield was the only other one who captained Timber. I'm wondering if there's some sort of gentleman's agreement in place between them here to both captain the same player, because Timber's a random one to captain. Did neither of them have Gabriel?
No.
Got their teams? Yeah, neither of them have Gabriel.
Luke does.
Strange to go over for Timber over Gabriel for captain.
Nick got lucky because O'Brien got -2 and Gusto got 0.
Wow. I hadn't even noticed that. So what? How did he win it? How did he win it by 2 points? Must have been Semenyo. No, because
No,
Rice.
they
Got
both
Semenyo as well.
Rice. It's Declan Rice.
From Rice.
there you go.
Coming
And
up clutch,
Haaland.
and that was 3. He got 3 bonus as well, so he literally won on the bonus points.
Yeah, that screwed me. That really screwed me. I mean, I was already losing, but yeah, the 3 bonus points for Rice was unreal. So, and Nick also has Haaland actually, who got 5 points. Well, Luke doesn't have him and went with a back 5. So Luke drops to 22nd. Nick, despite winning, actually dropped a place to 15th, I think. Probably on points scored because Andy Jackson did really well. Okay, so that's a really, really close game. This next one is pretty brutal. It was Mike versus Charlie. Mike with 69 points, Charlie with 57. And that means that we have a new
it's not
manager
me.
propping up the table, and it's not Alex. He's slipped a bomb. Brutal loss for Charlie. He loses his 3rd match on the spin and has just 1 win in his last 5. He sent me a very downbeat voice note about his fantasy team this morning. And I also just want to point out that it's probably of his own doing, because look at his team, right? 3 Bournemouth players, and he benched them all. 0 Manchester City players. So no Haaland, no Semenyo, no Gahey. I've got him next week. I've got Charlie next week. I've got no idea what he's going to do.
Easy win,
Watch
man.
the Bournemouth
You can get
lads
back to
rock up
form.
next week. Watch
Yeah,
them rock
exactly.
up. Ekitike's going to get a hattie.
Yeah. Who have Bournemouth got? Do we know? I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't know, no.
City have got Newcastle, right? So we usually do absolutely appalling at the Etihad. So I feel like
also on this, just quickly, Mike took -4 for the 5th week in a row. By the way,
he's taken a lot of minus. Yeah, he's still winning though.
He must be catching up with Jennings on minus.
who is he
points.
bringing in? Who is he bringing in each week for a -4?
I don't think I can.
But he's won 4 out of
See
5,
that.
lads.
Yeah,
He's won
he's
4 out
doing
of his
that.
last 5.
Yeah, so it's working,
he's another
isn't
one
it?
in good
No.
form. So he might be in a shout for manager of the month, would he, Mike? At this point,
I'd say he is.
When
I'd
is
say
that?
I am. I say I am, lads. I know. Come on, boys.
Well, have you won 2 in a row? Have you?
I'll say I am. I know.
I think it's a short. There's only. I think it's a 3-game month, isn't it?
That's our fucking one
no,
then.
maybe it's 4-game month. No, there's
Smithy.
one more. It's this weekend, mate.
yeah,
Settle.
Smithy's in good form.
We'll look at that
Andy
next
Jackson
week.
are flying.
Yeah. We'll look at it next week. I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
even thought about it this
Moving
week.
on, it's Trotty versus Jordan. So Real Football FC with 61, Odegaard with 75. All I've got to say about this one is Trotty is a very brave man for captaining Mateus Nunes from City in a week where Arsenal had a double game week and therefore a higher ceiling for points. What did
madness? It's just
utter nonsense. That is.
like? Why have you done that? Why have you captained Nunes? He must have forgot the deadline, right? Or did
no, mate, because he had a different captain from the week before.
Yeah. It's just mad.
I think
It's
he
just
meant
mad.
it. I don't get it. Like, for those that
Who
forgot,
did City play? City played Fulham, didn't they, and won 3-0.
Yeah, and they
right?
did batter them.
Yeah.
So look, Gahey there has the clean sheet for 7. So he could have gone Gahey, would have got 14, but he got. So Nunes must have made a sub appearance.
I think
or something
Nunes-
for 4.
Nunes came off, I think. Did he?
Might
think
have come
he
off
came
after. Yeah, but that is. Yeah,
I think
mean,
he came
you
off at half time. I think.
deserve everything you get with that captain choice. Like. He lost to Jordan. Easy win for Jordan.
That matches Dassey's captain of Harry Wilson this season.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the most rogue shouts.
Yeah.
Right, enough about that one. Next one is Salivation Army, Gazzy T with 84 points versus Rafaro with 60. Adama, dry your eyes. So, again, like, we need to talk
He's
about
not
this as
even
well.
playing, and he's averaging
barely
60
playing.
points a week.
Is Gareth's Man City team, set and forget fantasy team, is it starting to pay dividends? Because his approach of having 5 City players is very unique. It is differential against most managers in the league now. And it's seen him rise to the
he
table.
must have played this week because he captained Rice.
No,
they're all
he is
fit.
playing.
They're all the
Yeah,
City
he
players
does.
are fit now. He's got, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're
He's
all fit,
playing.
yeah, they're all on.
He's-
They're all starting.
He's playing. He's just not doing any transfers because as soon as he does one, it tells him to take out 2 City players.
I love that. He's got Nixie. He's got Nixie this week as well. Nixie was saying that to me, like he was wary
Yeah.
of these 5 City players. I was like, yeah, you better be.
Yeah, because basically, if City does well in a game week and you're playing Gareth, you're screwed. And
Yeah, 'cause
City
he's
have
got 5 players. Yeah.
he's got 5 players, which you're never going to be able to match.
Oh, I hope
So
I'm not playing him again this season.
basically, if you think about it, this is traditionally when City hits form as well, right? This is when they really start.
Especially with Arsenal bottling it the last 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or the
So
last week.
I actually really rate Gareth's approach at the moment because no one's going to be able to match him. So
Watch City win the
it's a
league
really
now,
interesting
winning
one.
the rest all their games for the rest of the season. That would be hilarious for Arsenal.
Next up, Illiman's Illuminati with 84 points versus Cucurella Eats Paella, 82 points. Peaks versus Con. Poor Connor. He was messaging me this morning. Really, really close game. Connor only lost because Zubimendi got DEFCON points. Otherwise, he would have drawn. So that's a painful one. And I feel that because I got a good score and still lost.
Talk about Jan.
Jammy for Peaks, who rises to 5th and has only 1 loss in his last 5 games now. 49 points. Only 5 points off the top is Lewis.
He's 243k in the world as well, Peaks. He's absolutely flying.
He's doing
Connor's
really
doing
well
all right,
season.
by the way.
Yeah, Connor must be
Connor's doing very well.
He's in the top 500. So, a lot of the managers in our league are high.
Yeah, they're doing with me and Nixie were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Apart from you,
or Trotty, who's probably like 9 million.
Connor's generally doing very well, but he does have 4 losses in his last 5, so he I think he's a bit unlucky. I mean, the luck index on the app. Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
To be fair, he did put Virgil van Dijk in this week, which was an absolute masterstroke.
I know, the 17-pointer, man. As soon as I saw that go in,
that killed you.
I was like, I'm toast against Andy. So moving on, CJ, you'll be happy to talk about this one. So it's bouncing with Barco with 56 points. The fuck? Why can't I play Trav? And then you win with a very average 63 points. So talk us through this one, Siege. Presumably you're delighted to come up against a low-scoring Trav to win. What is it? Your 3rd in a row? 2nd in a row?
3rd in a row now. 3rd in a row.
Trav
was off. Trav had won 4 in a row as well. To be fair.
About time Trav lost because he hasn't deserved those 4 wins in a row. I'm not gonna lie.
He to be fair, the first Arsenal game I wasn't watching, and he texted me, he was like, "Oh, you've got Gabriel and Rice. That's it. You fucked me." And then obviously Brentford scored. I was like, "That's pretty much it." And I think I was 14 or 15 points behind him before last night. And then Gabriel got that assist, which obviously with the triple captain's like 9 points.
Yeah,
and that was it. But at one point it was crazy. I think I turned it on at one point and I had about 85 points because of the clean out. I was absolutely flying, and then the goal went in and it went back down to like 64 or something. It was crazy.
It's so annoying.
I love that you've gone back to Ismail Sarr.
Yeah, classic and
classically blanked.
Sar's biggest fan is CJ. He's always
the funniest thing as well. He scored again tonight in the Conference League, which makes
of course he did.
But the funny thing is with Trav took Van Dijk out for Saliba.
Oh, brutal!
Me and Nixie were talking about this today. Like Saliba's shite this year as well. Like out of the Arsenal defenders to put in.
Why did he not bring in Gabriel?
I don't think he'd afford him because obviously Gabriel's like 7 mil now, isn't he? So, but yeah, he got rid of Van Dijk, which obviously I think the last 3 weeks my luck has definitely turned around. And as you can probably talk about that luck table later, but I'm definitely going up it. But thanks, Trav. But yeah, I'm closing in 4 points behind now, boys. Getting in the playoffs.
I think you'll sneak in. I recken you'll sneak in.
I've got Farney
for sure.
this week as well. Got Farney this week, so hopefully
he's struggling a bit, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he didn't have a shocker this week, as we'll get onto it. So,
well, he did because I didn't even do my team and I didn't lose.
Yeah, true.
Moving on. So the next game we're talking about is Jennings versus Dave. I'll give you a second to find that in the list.
Got it.
Mighty Canards with 66 points. A Book a Week 79 points. So I don't have anything to say about this except Tom decided to captain Enzo. Dave obviously won because he captained a double game week player. What else can you really say about that?
Full
Yeah.
It boggles
stop.
my mind that people. Yeah, it boggles my mind that people didn't captain Arsenal assets.
Mate, you know, a lot of the people that do this are down at the bottom of the table, bizarrely.
Must be coincidence. Although, having said that, I'll eat my words now because in our next matchup with Botman returns with 64 points versus Smithy Rovers, that's Matt versus Smithy. Smithy got 78 points and he went with the captain of João Pedro, which was a brave shout, but an excellent one with a 20-point return. So actually, he's probably one of the ones that was a good captain if you weren't going to go with Arsenal players.
Yeah.
So
That was a good shout.
well done, Smithy. He's up to 9th. And he's in some form as well. That's 4
He's
wins and
absolutely
1 draw.
flying.
He absolutely
Flying.
smashed me a few weeks back. He won by like 30 points. So yeah, he's basically your competition to getting into the playoffs there, right, Siege?
I'd say
I'm his competition. Come on.
I think you're fine, mate. You're fine there. I think it's looking like it's between me, Dave, Connor, Smithy,
Me.
Mike. It's tight.
It is.
Me.
Okay. Next up, we've got Don't Delap in Anger with 57 points. So that's Fraser versus Rise to the Occasion, which is Stu with 50. So 2 really low-scoring managers. If this was match of the day, this would be last on the highlight reel. Stu celebrates first place by forgetting the deadline and scoring the lowest point tally of the week. So Andy Jackson is the highest with 98. And 24th in the league this week is Stu with 50. Absolutely shocking there. And clearly the pressure's got to him. Or to be honest, obviously everyone got caught out, didn't they, by the midweek deadline. You got caught out, didn't you, Alex? And we'll talk about that in a second or two. Actually, is it because you guys went for a beer that you forgot the deadline?
No.
just general
I
ineptitude.
think for Balf, it was calmer after chatting shite in the group. I think that's pretty much
true.
what it was. Abusing everyone and then forgetting the deadline is karma.
Well, Fraser forgot his team as well, didn't he? And still won.
That's even more karma. That's what I love about it. So they both captain Fernandez as well.
Yeah.
Did they?
Hey, talking about captaining Fernandez.
Yes, that brings us nicely on to the last match. Shrimp on the Varby versus 59 versus Doug Kubuski with 59. Andy Farnfield versus Alex Butler. Alex, you snatched a draw from the jaws of defeat. Talk us through this one. You must be pretty happy with that, right? Avoided the bottom after Andy chirped in the
What's
WhatsApp
there
group.
to talk about, Ben? I forgot to do my team and somehow snuck a point. Farney plays his wild card and he gets 59 points. I'll talk about someone having a shocker there. I was absolutely... Last night, I thought I might sneak this to win.
Yeah.
And then obviously I saw this on this website, but later I was like, draw, I'll take that. Forgot to do my team. He captained Timber, who had 2 games and only got 6 points. I was like, absolutely delighted. I'll take my draw.
Yeah, so
to be fair,
a clean sheet in either of those fixtures would have ruined you. So I guess you sort of had it written off as
I was just
loss.
praying that Arsenal would concede, and then
Both
they
games.
did.
You
So
were
I
unlucky.
celebrate.
You were unlucky because he only drew because Bryce got 3 bonus points as well.
Wow.
I know,
Yeah.
You were so unlucky because I looked at it last night. I was like, "Oh, Butler's won," and I looked at it this morning and did have a little chuckle to myself.
Well,
when I saw
my
it was
faith
a
in
draw.
Illiman and Dye was rewarded, wasn't it?
9-pointer, yeah.
With his 9 pointers, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
What did he do? Did he score a pen or
He
something?
scored a pen. Yeah.
He's got a pen. Yeah,
Can
good
we just
shout.
point out that Farney's average over the last 5 games is 42.4?
Yeah, watch him have a worldie this week against me though, lads. All right.
Let's talk about how that not relegation, but trophy building is shaping up. That is so tight at the bottom now. Alex, you're in
Sure is.
20th. That point took you 2 places up to 20th. Gazzy's surging up the league with 3 places to 21st.
He's flying.
There's 4 managers on 28 points. And then Charlie rounding off the bottom with 27 points. By the way, his
That's
luck
so
index is insane. minus 1,245, it says.
Yeah,
on
he's
Rival
bottom
FPL.
now of the luck index. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's really unlucky to.
Charlie and I are me and Charlie have been really similar throughout the whole season. Like we're only 8 points separate us, and both our luck index is really bad. I mean, if you look at our points compared to everyone around us, we absolutely walk the floor of them all the way up to Dassie. So, like there's
very true.
There's Farney on 1,284, and then there's Charlie on 1,428. Then you've got Luke in there on 1,306, Gazzy on 1,364, Trotty on 1,277, who's above both of us. Oh God!
Oh dear.
And
Yeah,
Trav sat sixth with 1,390.
Yeah,
he's in Trav's luck
mad.
as well. Look at his luck.
Yeah.
I think Trav's
his luck. It's like complete opposite of Charlie's and mine.
Yeah.
Right, that rounds off the game week review. Some really interesting results there. Some big mix-ups in the league. After the break, we're going to be joined by the founder and creator of Rival FLP.
When you say we,
FPL,
Ben, you.
I am going to be joined by the creator and founder of Rival FPL. Let's get the name right, shall we? Really, really interesting guy. Obviously, we're massive fans of his and his website. So yeah, it would be really, really good to chat to him and get to know him a little bit more.
Agreed.
We'll be right back.
Just quickly before we listen, I think it's important that please don't skip it, because it is really interesting to listen to. Like the guy is a phenomenal guy, not just about what he's doing for FPL, but just as a person, he is really interested. And I thought when I was listening to you and him, Ben, I was just like, I'm listening to a different podcast. This is phenomenal. But anyway, let's enjoy it.
Something a little bit different. Tune in after the break. Welcome back to the Sonny and Cher pod. For this part of the pod, we are joined by the founder and creator of FPL Rival, or Rival FPL. I always get it mixed up. Greg. How are you doing, Greg?
I'm doing great this evening. Happy. I hate Arsenal. Let's be honest. We haven't talked about it, like what club you like, but I hate Arsenal. But funny enough, happy that they scored one goal and then Rice with an assist. So the evening is starting in the right way.
Did you captain Rice, or did you go for a different Arsenal asset?
But my rival does not have Rice, and I was missing 2 points. So those 3 points of an assist is just perfect. Fine. So now I'm leading by 1 point, and I normally, unless he gets a red card, I'm supposed to kind of like win my my game against him. So I'm happy.
I need some sort of contribution from either Timber or Gabriel. But before we get into the Arsenal game, why don't you just? I'd love for our listeners to get a little bit of background on you. So just please introduce yourself and give us a little background on who you are and what you do, and how this website came about.
Yeah, that would be my pleasure. So, name is Greg. I'm from Belgium, specifically Brussels. If you can locate Brussels in this tiny neighbor country of the UK. I've been working in the tech industry for over 10 years now, and I'm an entrepreneur. So basically, I work in startups. I've created startups, and I initially started as more of a marketeer, working in growth, and bit by bit, I've always had this kind of like more of a builder persona, or something more in my DNA. And one of the topics that I've basically have been like the frustrations of my professional career has been that I've never been able to actually code. I understand infrastructure. I can read code in some capacity, and then came AI. And with AI, the ability for me to actually learn and dive deeper, but also basically boosting my productivity and being able to do something I could not do myself. So basically, having a little army of engineers that are using AI, but with me having a quite steep and good understanding of like what they actually need to do. And that's how Rival FPL basically started. And right now, I actually have my own company, which is in using blockchain. Well, I'm in the blockchain industry, so crypto. And we're building an app, and I am the co-founder, but also head of product. So basically, designing the whole product and collaborating with our CTO to develop this actual mobile app. So I'm not too far from the topic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. So I just to ask you about that, because that's really interesting. Did you use what AI did you use to help you code? I've never coded either.
Okay, so I would say, but maybe I'm wrong in my stats, but 90% of people using AI to code today that actually know what they're doing would actually be using Anthropic Cloud or Cloud Code more specifically. You might have heard about them. They are, that's personal opinion, but if you have to compare OpenAI or ChatGPT with Anthropic Cloud Code, or even Gemini from Google in some capacity, what Claude to me does, or Claude Code, because it's like a sub AI from Claude, where basically what Claude is doing is really a productivity booster. It doesn't try to do things or it doesn't try to do everything on your behalf. What I sometimes feel OpenAI is trying to do, it really tries to be a co-pilot for you.
Okay.
And it's a very deep topic. I would really advise you to kind of read about it. It's super easy. But technically, yes, with Cloud Code, everyone can code. The only difference is if you don't know what you're doing, you'll get stuck at some point, or you'll get to it will be complete chaos. So you do need to have a strong technical understanding of how infrastructure, databases, etc. actually work, which was always the case for me.
So we've talked about how you created Rival FPL, but let's talk about why you created it, because you've got a lot of frustrations with the current kind of setup in fantasy and the official fantasy sort of system, right?
So, do you remember the 2015-16 season?
Yes, that was the year Leicester won it, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
I would say, is that still the biggest Premier League upsets in history or not?
Oh, by far. Yeah. I can't think of another, occurrence.
Well, at least since the Premier League, I think Premier League started in 1991, like the latest iteration of the Premier League. Yeah. So I would say, in the last 30 to 40 years, I would say, yeah, definitely. And that's actually my first FPL season. I would say I did not start that in September or in August. I think I started a couple of weeks late, but that was my first experience. So this year is my 10th FPL season.
Wow.
But one of the topics is that if you look at how FPL has been basically building its features. So I think when I started, 5 million, 6 million players, today 12 million. Of course, you have to count for all those. Pardon what I'm going to say, but you have to count about all those kind of Indian game week accounts that are basically just creating an account for a week. But, probably in the millions today. But overall, the FPL app has been built mainly for what I would say the overall rank chasers, right? So the holy grail when you talk about FPL is okay, can I rank the top 100K? We used to say top 10K. I think top 10K is becoming more and more difficult as more players are joining. I still believe that being able to be in the top 100K means that you're doing a good season. And everything seems to be kind of pushed towards kind of how many points do you have? How many, even your leagues is points league, etc. And head to head is to me a bit of a different topic, because head to head will only be fun if you really have 20 or at least a certain amount of players that are really into kind of the whole season, and it feels more private in that capacity. Looking at this, you have many, many, many websites that actually are helping you to gather more data. Even the official app is trying to do a lot more there. But all of the data that you're getting is always in regards to players, performance. It's never about your opponent, right? And that's the whole thing about head-to-head is it's not about the opponent that you faced 5 game weeks ago, right? It's not about the opponent that is basically close to you in the overall points. It's basically who is your next opponent, and do you have a chance to actually beat that person? The strategy can be quite different. And my frustration has always been that even if you look at how FPL updates the app, something you probably have noticed that the head-to-head standings
Last
is the last
every
thing they
time.
update. Exactly, yeah. It's the last thing
Yeah.
they update. And so you never know. There's no projections. Even like if you want to go and find your next opponent, how many clicks does that take, right? So you do feel that it's something that it's an afterthought. It's there because maybe at some point someone wanted to do it and it has some success, but it's not a priority.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? 2025, one of my resolution was actually to build my first actual app, or at least web app, which what Rival FPL is right now. And I was like, you know what? It's a perfect topic.
Yeah.
The API is free to use. And I just started testing out some stuff. And basically at first, the website was quite simple because whenever I shared my post on Reddit, which is how you guys discovered it, I was already, I think, 30 or 40 days into the development. And then, well, you guys also saw how the websites grew over time.
Yeah. So I mean, how many hours have you dedicated to this project, and
I have no
and
idea.
how much more are you going to put into it? It seems like a massive passion project, but also a massive time sink, right? So are you gonna keep it updated? Are you likely to drop it? Like what? How do you feel about it at the moment?
So I stopped counting the hours, but
Probably smart.
I think back in October, November, I did an estimation that I was already at 100 hours at least.
Wow.
But it's difficult to. It's something that I do like in the evening. It's something I do at some point. I could while using AI, sometimes I do kind of like debugging investigations that can last for quite some time, etc. So it's also something that can run in the background if I know what I'm doing, and it doesn't take me too much time. But yeah. Let's be honest. You don't create such a website just by. I mean, if someone can recreate everything I did in an evening, I'd be super amazed. It's maybe possible. I don't know. There is also a lot of like trial and error and trying to kind of like having the right ideas. But what takes the most time is actually not building the data sets. Is not building basically the whole thing. Is debugging, but also the design, the front end, right? Making sure that things are kind of like accurate, etc. You have no idea. Sometimes I can lose hours on just kind of like making sure that the table is actually aligned well or basically renders well on mobile, etc. That's kind of like what can take the most time of building this. But overall, it's been quite fun and a good learning curve.
So you've done the back end yourself. You've used AI to help you, but you've done the back end yourself, and you're also doing the front end as well. You're designing how it looks and feels, and all the UX and the navigation and stuff as well. Is that right?
It's only me.
Yeah. Wow.
There's no help. But yeah, so at first the website was built and was solely using the API. I can look at it right now. Since the beginning of the app, let me just take the numbers just to give you an idea on how many API calls were done since the beginning of the app. Since I started measuring it, I don't know since when, but I am nearing 1 million API requests.
Wow.
The total request is like,
I don't exactly know what an API is. That sounds like a high number.
No. So the API basically is so FPL allows you to connect to their database. Basically, all of the
which
players,
is an API, right?
Yeah, that's the API. Yeah. So it's basically like they're allowing you to create something that connects to their database, right? And they decide what's in there, right? And that's the data point. So basically, it comes down to a player, what team he belongs to, and then all the stats you can see, like how many minutes they've played, what game week, what they earned as points, like every little detail that you can see. And based on this data, you can then build everything together. Right? For example, a player's total points will basically be the sum of his points earned during every game week, and the points earned during a game week is based on these parameters of like has he hit DEFCON, did he do an assist, how many minutes did he play, all this kind of stuff, right?
So each one of those is like a call to the API. So you've had over 1 million.
Well, it depends how it's built, but technically you could say it is, right? So but sometimes one API call can have multiple data sets, data points in it. And what I'm doing, it's important to understand, is like, to increase the speed of the app, is I've created some caching elements. Basically, whenever I call on I do a call on the API, I do that during the live game week. But whenever you go to past data, to make sure that I'm not basically bombarding the API with requests. I'm actually caching that data in an actual database that I have created. And so basically, whenever you go in a non-live game week, that should actually be from my database that I created.
Wow. Okay.
The concept. So it was just me wanting to learn to do it, but the consequence is that it actually increases my costs.
Wow.
So I have server costs that are basically, I think right now I'm spending around $30 per month just to kind of like run the
website and everything like that. Wow, that's incredible. So that's something I wanted to talk about as well, is the fact that, when we are looking at head-to-head, when we're looking at our matchups, we've spoken about how, the FPL app treats it as an afterthought and it's the last thing to be updated. But I actually use your site as well for like live scores, because it's much quicker than the official app, right? So I can see my score against, I'm playing Andy this week, and it can your site instantly figures out that my player is coming off a bench, for example, and accounts that as part of the score. So is that something that is really difficult for you to do, or is that quite easy? Like the fact that you're almost ahead of the official app.
It's a good point. It's a good question. So basically, instead of so whenever you go to the API, you have like let's imagine that you have tables of data.
Yeah.
And some of this data is also head-to-head, right? So there's a head-to-head table where you can see your opponent. So I need that table to basically look at fixtures in your league, like who you're going to play against next week, right? But you're going to play against another team ID, and you have your own team ID. But whenever I'm looking at your team ID, I know what players you have in that team. And so if I know what players you have, I also know what live performance a player has. So basically, I rebuild how much points you earn. And
Wow.
And basically, once that is rebuilt, I can then take the live scores, like the immediate scores of the player, because when you look at your FPL app, you have your live scores. You know exactly what player how many points a player has. Whenever that defender hits his 60th is like his 60th minute, right? You will see like he's bumping from 2 to 6. He has a clean sheet. I can take that data and then indeed like rebuild your total score, and then project that into kind of like your rival section where you can see basically how your opponent scores. The biggest difficulty I had, because that's what FPL doesn't do, is doing live bonus points and auto subs. You mentioned auto subs, right?
Yeah.
So I've had many bugs to make it run, because that was the most difficult part to run. But I think right now it seems to be more or less bug free. The only issue is I can only test those features when a live game week is actually happening.
Yeah. And we would just, before we went, on air, we were also talking about double game week, right? Because this is the first double game week of the season, and you hadn't, had the chance to, work through all the potential bugs from that. But it seems to be holding up at the moment. It just might be counting DEFCONs altogether from the 2 games.
Yeah, what I'm seeing right now, looking at the screen live, is that it does seem, at least that the way my app is calculating stuff, that the bonus point systems and defensive contributions are already kind of like double. So basically, Wolves players and Arsenal players already are including previous game actually points. So I can see that Gabriel has already 19 defensive contributions, which doesn't make any sense. So that's something I need to, of course. I realize it right now, and I did it again. That's one of the issues of coding with AI. Is that sometimes you don't know the little details that are in there, and so you have to discover those bugs. But then again, the fact that I understand the logic, it's super easy for me to then launch an investigation and trying to understand what is the right fix to move forward.
Wow. It's very, very impressive. And I understand that you're using this passion project, as a foundation for another product, right? Like a football prediction game. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Careful, because I can talk a lot more about that one than about FPL. So before I actually started playing FPL, it was in 2010, South African World Cup. Remember the final between the Netherlands and Spain. I created this game, which is a prediction game between friends.
Okay.
And it's let's say like, why are you playing FPL? You're not playing FPL for the cheer of the game. Of course, it's fun, but you're playing FPL to enhance your experience around watching the games, right? And even the games that you don't care about, even the games with the team that you hate, right, become interesting. That's the whole
Yes, that's
point.
very
That's the whole
true.
point of FPL, right? So, when you're watching the World Cup, how do you make even those tiniest games between? I'm just saying something, right? Whenever Iran is playing against Australia, for example, I'm not saying that. I mean, like usually those games are like Bosnia against whatever. Like there are some teams where you care less about, right? Not every game is England versus Germany or France, right?
Exactly.
For you guys, even Belgium might not be that interesting, right? How do you make that World Cup interesting? And for us in 2010, we were not qualified.
Yeah.
So how do you make a World Cup interesting if even your nation is not qualified? And so I created this prediction game. But what I don't like about prediction games is usually they can get quite tedious. Like it can be quite of a chore to kind of like go like if you have to predict every game and then you have this time component like, oh, new predictions are out. I need to predict my game today for tomorrow, otherwise I'm late, etc. How can you build basically a World Cup or European Cup prediction game where you have to predict everything before the tournament starts?
Yeah.
The issue is like you don't know what games will happen, right? So I built this whole system where easy, you can predict every group phase game. You have your 36 or I don't know how many games they're going to be this year. So is it 64, 48? I don't remember.
Who knows?
But basically, you predict all of your group phase games, right? Points are earned the same for everyone. If you win, over, under, whatever. Like I made the system a bit more complex over the years. And then, based on your prediction, you are going to have your very own group rankings.
Oh, okay.
Okay, might be different from mine, might be different from someone else. So basically, you're going to qualify. Well, this year will be 32, but you're going to qualify your 16 teams or 32 teams that will basically go to the final phase.
Okay.
And then based out of those 16 teams, or let's say for this year, based on those 32 teams, 16 teams will qualify for the next phase. And then from 16 to 8, from 8 to 4, etc., etc. So you can basically decide how far a team is going to go. And the way then that you earn points in that phase is going to depend on how many other players have also predicted that team to go that far.
Gotcha.
And so I created an algorithm that
creates its own odds almost.
Exactly. Yeah. You need to have a certain amount of players, but it creates its own odds. But the odds are not exponential; they are logarithmic. So basically, I tried different formulas there, and it was a logarithmic formula to kind of like divide the points as players are going. It's funny because it's kind of like, of course, it's been this year is going to be my 8th edition, I think, or something like this. So the formulas and the game has evolved over time. And this year, I actually want to try one of my challenges of 2026. So 2025, building a first app, a web app. 2026, I want to basically transform this game into an actual app, maybe opening it to the public if other people want to play it, but maybe even like an actual mobile app.
Wow. So am I right in saying that you have a limit at the moment, right? You only accept a certain amount of people to play?
The reason is that right now it's a lot of manual labor. I'm using Google Sheets and like Excel things, and I have to run things manually in some capacity. It's well automated, but my wife hates me for it. Like for a whole month, my wife is basically like, it's funny because the people in like my friends league for doing this, like usually they offer my wife a gift at the end of the tourney because we have a WhatsApp group, and I basically every day I share a rank. I basically like, it's also about the content that you can generate during the tournament, right? So I'm talking about how players are performing. I'm talking about the next games, who has a chance to perform this, that, and I'm trying to kind of like involve as many folks as possible into kind of like my daily updates.
So it exists right now, but you're trying to create a mobile app for the World Cup. What is it called? How can our listeners visit it if they want to check it out?
Well,
it's all private.
It's private, so we call it in French prono, which means predictions.
Gotcha.
So it's the prediction game, and we have this WhatsApp group called Les Pronos, which means the predictions, and everybody knows it by this. And every 2 years, I basically change the title from like Prono with the little flag of the country, or if it's a World Cup or whatever. It's very manual, but I'll probably create a brand around it. My goal was to start working on it in January. But then Rival FPL has taken kind of like there is always a new feature I want to develop for Rival FPL, which basically takes me away from like delaying my basic creation of this app.
Yeah.
I'm maybe getting to the point where I feel Rival FPL is getting to that maturity. There's still a lot of stuff I need to do. And there's a couple of ideas I still have in there, but I'm getting to a point where I think I will be able to start putting some more time into this new app, but we'll see.
That leads us on nicely to my next question, which is basically like, what are some of the new features of Rival FPL that you think users should check out? Because you're constantly updating it, and I feel like every time we log in, there's something new to look at. So
I've been slower. Lately. I don't know if you've noticed. I've been on vacation.
No, we haven't noticed. I mean, you talk about how everything for you is manual and in spreadsheets. That's what we were doing for our head-to-head league. So your website is like a dream for us, because now we've completely retired all of our manual stuff and we just check your site. So it's amazing. So yeah, what are some of the latest features you've been working on?
So what I recently released, which was honestly a nightmare to build. But again, I always like to test out new stuff. Is like now you can actually create an account. So I don't know if you noticed, but before you had to log in with your league ID and then you could find it. Now you can actually create an account.
And it will remember it across devices, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you can now also select your leagues based on your team ID. So instead of having to log, so right now, if you restart, if you reload the app, you can create an account and then decide to select all of your leagues from your team ID. You can still add leagues from others, but that's kind of like a new flow that was created. Then I've made the app compatible with classic leagues. It's not great yet. It works, but you can now also kind of like use Rival FPL for classic leagues.
For classic, wow.
Yeah, well, what I call classic leagues, which is basically non-head-to-head leagues, right? And,
yeah.
But the whole goal of Rival FPL, it's head-to-head. Why? Because the mini league aspect becomes so strong in head-to-head. But overall, I'm not trying to compete with any other stats website. My whole goal is basically the mini league banter, right? That's what you'll see from the app. And of course, there's a lot of kind of like looking at your opponent, looking at your results. There's a whole improving the head-to-head experience. But in the end, I enjoyed a lot building the seasonal section, the luck section, the award section, something that is more kind of like how can you generate more content around your mini league.
Yes, that's been the most enjoyable part for us, I think, is that the content that you generate from the mini league, like the awards, like the bench warmer was a really funny one. I really like that one. Yeah, stuff like that is really good. Are you working? I mean, it sounds like you might be reaching the end of adding new features, but is there anything?
Two more features.
Two more features that you're working on at the moment?
I mean, there might be more, but I'm creating the app as I go, basically based on frustrations or IDs, right? If you guys remember on WhatsApp, you guys shared an ID, and I was like, oh, you know what? And I think 24 hours later, actually, I put it in the app. And sometimes an ID generates another ID, and that's how I've been rolling.
Yeah.
But there's two more. There is this ownership ID. I think I shared a link to you guys. I don't know if you've checked it out, but basically, that's really statistics. But basically, having a better understanding of what are the associations of players, basically the elite players are using. For example, how many, like out of the top 1K or top 10K, how many teams actually have 3 Arsenal players, and which are those players, right? And trying to better understand kind of like player association. One of my personal beliefs is that if everyone talks always about being differential, what's interesting is that if you take all of the best performing players into your team, if you can afford it, of course, you'd still have a unique team. People don't realize is that sometimes trying to be differential is also looking at how differential you are compared to a mass of players. And basically, the ownership ID is something, again, like I want to have the data. I was like, okay, now actually I can build it because I have the data. And so I just tried to build it. The second feature is I'd love to allow users to actually manage their transfers straight from the Rival FPL app. So basically,
Wow.
you preparing it is possible because I know there's one other app that actually was able to manage it, but
Wow.
there is
I didn't know
some
that. Yeah.
there is some the other app. I can do some advertising. I honestly, it's quite of a nice app. It's an actual mobile app. It's called Fantasy PL.
Okay.
Check
And
it
that
out.
lets you, that lets you do transfers. Wow.
You
Without
can do
needing the
transfer from
official
that
app.
app. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, wow.
exactly. Um,
So you want to bring that to Rival FPL? That would be amazing if you could bring that.
It's again me trying, but I
Yeah.
tried at some point. I could not make it work. The API was refusing me access.
Mhm.
I have not tried again since. So again, let's first work on ownership, and then see how it works. But as I said, at some point I need to start focusing my prediction app as well. But
Yeah.
I'll keep maintaining the app. I'll keep improving the app as I'm going, as I having new ideas or getting more and more feedback. So that's kind of like the whole idea.
Do you have any plans to? I mean, I know it's costing you about €30 a month at this stage. So, do you have any plans to monetize the app, the website Rival FPL in any way, or is that difficult considering you're using the API and official fantasy stats and stuff like that?
Oh well, many other websites actually are monetizing. If you look at, it's funny because if you look at even like Fantasy PL official Reddit page, I think every week you have a new AI built. I mean, not so different from
Yeah.
mine, but like a non-original ID, and then basically them trying to monetize.
Yeah.
So I think with the emergence of AI, you see more and more of these apps. I think I have a very specific angle, and my
Hmm.
goal is like I build it for me. The only issue is like if maybe at some point I might release like maybe ownership, like talking about this kind of like ownership ID. Maybe that one is something that I'll say, you know what, I will put it behind like a paywall of like you have to
Yeah.
spend like
Upgrade. Yeah.
£1 per month or something like it's like the
Yeah.
goal is not this app will never will not make me rich. But it's true that if maybe I could kind of like get $100 per month just to kind of like refund my cost for my
Yeah.
efforts, sure. But this is a passion project. This is not the goal to make money out of it. Certainly not. So it's also for me, I see this also like as a tool to learn and basically improving my own skills. So I think I get a lot of the rewards or the revenue is basically for me actually becoming a better person at what I'm trying to do. That's one of
Yeah.
the goals.
Oh wow. Okay, that's great. So, you presumably you have your own head-to-head league. Is your head-to-head league grateful for this site? Do they use it a lot, and do they engage with it and interact with it?
So funny because I saw the question that you guys prepared for it. I think they are. I can so I track how many leagues are using the app.
Yeah.
Let me just share with you. I have a total of 174 leagues.
Wow, that's
And I
amazing.
can see more or less like what league is using the app the most, and how many managers actually are using the league. And of course, my league is one of the most. So I have around like I thought it was 50%. Actually, is around 75% of my league is using the app. I don't know in
Amazing.
what capacity and how often.
Yeah, but that's pretty amazing that you can see the amount of leagues that have been using your app. 74. That's incredible.
I just did one Reddit post, but I can tell you, for example, looking at the app right now, over the last hour, I have 10 leaks that check the app.
Wow. Wow. You have to look in to see how much Sonny and Share, our pod,
You
our
guys
league.
are second in usage after ours.
Are we?
Yeah.
Wow. Good, good. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm really, really glad to hear that. That's great. So how are you doing in fantasy this year? And are you winning your head-to-head league?
So I'm second in my head-to-head leagues. We have this whole this star system. So basically, if you win the league, you then are allowed to add a star behind your username.
Okay.
We started this system like let me tell you, we have 1, 2, 3. So we started this 5 years ago. I'm happy to have
Uh-huh.
1 star. I won it once
Uh-huh.
in the last 5 years. Someone won it 3 times. But right
Wow.
now I'm actually close second. So we are 20. We are 20, and we always try to be
Nice.
20 because we like to respect the whole kind of like 38 game week, so everyone plays against each other twice. So trying to have the same format. And I'm close second right now. Really happy that I don't know. Looking at the live score, it actually seems that my opponent is. The leader is going to lose his game week, so I'm gonna get back
Excellent.
to him. Yeah. So it's actually quite good. Like, yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm getting back to 1 point of the leader, which is great, and I'm basically building my keeping my lead. Like the third is like 8 points behind me, so I'm actually in a good position to potentially win the league, but still second for the moment.
Yeah, I was first in the league for our league from game week 3 until game week 24 or something, and now I'm dropping like a stone, and I think I'm going to lose this week's matchup. So that's a bit gutting, but hopefully I can get back to the top.
I mean, like, look at the frustration. Can I share my screen? Let me just check.
Of course.
Let me see if that works. Yeah. So this is our league. FC Metas. So Greg, as you can see, so that's kind of like one of the interesting features is kind of like being able to indeed like look at the rank.
Yeah, versus the
before,
official, the live versus.
And then looking at the live, like, so you can see that I'm basically kind of like he's going to lose, and I'm right now winning. But the frustration for me has been basically kind of like this has been my season.
You've been chasing it.
Yeah, I mean, chasing him. Like I got like in game week 18, got third, then lost, and then basically like it's been a tough time for me. Yeah. But no, I'm hopeful. I'm in a good position to indeed win the league, and my overall rank is I was 77k top, so I was in the top 100k a couple of weeks ago. Now I'm back to 150 or something, but I honestly think, especially given how many teams or dead teams or still need to go out of the top 100k, I honestly think I'll be able to be top 100k this season. I don't think I'll beat my record. My record is, I think, 12,000 or something. Like just a shiny bit off the top 10k. Still a dream. I can still do it.
Was that at the end of the season, or was that just your highest rank ever?
It was. Let me tell you when it was. It was in some time ago. It was in the season 2020-21 season. I was exactly 13,620.
Wow.
I still hopeful to maybe beat that record, but the top 10k is honestly becoming harder and harder.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I think I've told you before, I peaked in game week 9 of this year. I went to 3,000 in the world because Mickey van der Ven scored twice.
What game week?
Game week 9, I think it was.
Okay.
Of this year.
Okay, that's still quite good. Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah. It was when Mickey van der Ven scored twice and got a clean sheet and 3 bonus points. So that was my differential.
Oh,
but I've been dropping a lot since then.
But
so
what are you right now?
99,000, something like that.
Oh, well, yeah. So you're better ranked than me.
Still just about top 100k, although I expect that to keep dropping. So what's been your best decision in fantasy so far and your worst?
So it was a difficult question. I think if not mistaken, I had Munoz from game week 1 or game week 2, and Munoz had like quite of a good kind of like run of fixture before he got injured. So that was a good decision. I think that helped me kind of like get ahead. I think I got Timber as well really, really early on. Maybe I don't think I had him. Did I have him from game week 1 onwards? I don't know. I think those are kind of like good decisions. Interesting. If I'm looking at my best average overall, it's Joao Pedro. But I only had this guy for 4 game weeks at the beginning of the season, and then I ditched him. And he's been quite a good, well on form like lately. I feel like I think he's now playing more as a 9 than he was as a false 9 before. I think it does like since they changed managers.
Yeah.
My worst, my God, chasing points with so many players. I think fucking O'Reilly. I think a lot of people bought O'Reilly and were hesitant between Nunes and O'Reilly. And O'Reilly like had better stats or kind of like was supposed to be a better BPS magnet. And then for everyone that chose O'Reilly, it was for Nunes for like a couple of game weeks. Then I ditched him. I think I've been chasing points with Chalobah. Ekitike, I still believe the guy should be the right guy, but he's not really been scoring a lot of goals, so maybe I should ditch him. Sanchez as a goalkeeper, I've been having him since game week 1, and I've been willing to ditch him, but I mean, there's always a better transfer to do.
Yeah.
Should not have ditched Semenyo. Had him for quite some time, but then ditched him. I've been trusting Kudus as well at the beginning of the season. I should not have trusted him. So
I did that as well.
I mean, a lot of there's always so many bad decisions. And right now, honestly, I have I have two FTs, potentially a third FT, because I don't know what transfers to do. Like it's it's been an interesting season where of course Palmer right now is kind of getting out of his hole, but it's been a difficult season because there's so many good cheap players to choose from, and I always feel like whenever I'm making a transfer, I'm making the wrong decision because the one I'm ditching is basically going to be destroying me. I mean, if you look at teams right now, like you should have Gabriel. Everyone should have Gabriel.
Yeah,
you probably want to do a double up on an Arsenal defender. So probably most people have Gabriel and Timber.
Yeah,
you can't go without Bruno Fernandes. I mean, people that don't have Bruno Fernandes, oh my God, the guy is basically like whenever he's playing, like he's one of the best performing players since he's back from his injury. He's been great, and the guy is never injured normally. So. I mean, those are the guys, but aside from those, even Haaland, like you can't even say like a lot of people actually have been transferring out Haaland.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most interesting years I think over the past years, given the premiums are not performing as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it keeps things really interesting, particularly in midfield. With like Salah not producing anymore, Palmer, as you say, working back into form, and then Saka as well has been on and off this season. So yeah, it's a really interesting season, especially with the addition of DEFCON. It completely changes the dynamic of the game.
I love it.
You're a fan?
Yeah. I'm a big fan. I hated the chip last year.
The assistant manager chip.
I'm still not quite sure how the chip worked, to be honest. But the DEFCON, I mean, well, it's a discussion, right? Should they make the game more strategic? I do believe defensive contributions is a smart way. And well, if it keeps on working, what's great is kind of like in the end you want to have more, like you want to have pricing to be more even. You want. If this continues, you will see basically like defensive players becoming more expensive, defenders becoming more expensive. But it just makes the whole kind of like game more interesting. And in the end, FPL is about a game, right? Of course, for people that are basically casually playing the game, it might not make that much of a big difference, or it might make the game more complex. But in the end, those players will just those users or players will just basically look at points and not details, right? So I think it's one of those great additions, and I just wish that FPL is adding more of those in the future.
Well, I wonder if they'll do attacking contributions at some point as well as defensive. They may do attack con at some point.
They don't need to, because attacking contribution would be assists and goals, right? So unless you want to
think about like key passes, like in the same way you think about interceptions and clearances for DEFCON.
Well, you could do final third passes, or like the pass to the assister. Like we could. So I would say instead of like, it's maybe not kind of like attacking contribution, it could be kind of like playmaker contributions. But again, it's like, or like but it feels already kind of like quite specific. The good thing with DEFCON is kind of like, besides goalkeeper,
anyone can earn them.
Yes. And so I think like, because the issue for me is like, when you're looking at defensive players, especially the midfielders, right? Besides an assist, what can they earn? A goalkeeper has saves and a clean sheet, right? And then defenders and players like Rice and like other kind of like defensive midfielders, they could earn 1 point from a clean sheet, and then of course the occasional assist and 1 extra point from a goal. But they're not rewarded for their performance. I do think that offensive players, even if they sometimes do the final third pass, whatever, will be rewarded with the assist and a goal. And I think I actually have never checked how BPS are calculated, but I think BPS is also evolving kind of like a lot more stuff than what we actually are seeing in the app. So
yeah, I think so as well. Hey, listen, it was an absolute pleasure to have you come onto the pod, and I've really enjoyed chatting with you. Just want to say good luck for the rest of the season, and thank you for all your hard work on Rival FPL. It's honestly been such a great addition to our head-to-head league this year and to our podcast in general. So thank you very much for your time.
my pleasure, and keep on sharing some feedback.
Always,
yeah.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers, man. Bye.
That rounds off our interview with Greg. What a nice guy to like give me 45 minutes just chatting my ear off about his app and the website and fantasy in general. Really, really interesting stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, something a bit different this week. And some of the stuff he's got planned is really cool. If you can manage to figure out how to enable Rival FPL to allow transfers, I think that's going to be a massive, massive game changer. I mean, I wouldn't ever use the official fantasy app again. I think if you can manage to pull that off, yeah. Other than to do your transfers, what would you actually need it for? It's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's just as well. I was talking to Rafaro and Jennings last night, who I made them download the app.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, since then, they don't even look at the FPL one anymore. They just use the Rivals one. So if you haven't downloaded it as an app yet, what the fuck are you doing? Get on with it. Like, download the app. It's really simple. If you need me to help you, I will FaceTime you and help you do it if you need me to do it. 2, as he said on the interview you've just heard, you can also create yourself an account now, which means you never have to log in again. So you just create yourself an account. Again, it's really straightforward. It means when you open the app, everything's there for you. You don't need to keep entering league codes or anything like that. It's brilliant. So yeah,
it's so much better as well for like the live game feedback. Like that is the massive game changing factor. Like especially last night when like the fantasy app was like almost like glitching because it didn't actually give you a Wolves game individually. It was like combining the Brentford and Wolves game. Like if you took that onto the Rival FPL website, it broke it down. And what's good about the head-to-head, it shows you live updates with the bonus points. It's absolutely amazing, like, especially for us. Like the boys said, I'm just using that Rival FPL. I'm literally using the fantasy app for my transfers at the moment. So hopefully he can sort of.
But Ben, you must have been in awe talking to him. I could sense there was a bit of awe in the conversation. Every time he talked about something, you were like, "Oh my goodness, that's incredible!" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
That was for the effect. That was the effect.
Yeah.
That's what we had to do. Yeah.
It was like listening to a podcast that has like 1 million followers. I was like, "Siege, we're fired."
Well, we'll have to have him
Greg
on
and
again.
Ben are going to take over.
Yeah, he wants to be part of the league as well, Ben. You said, didn't you? Next year, hopefully, he's involved.
Yeah, he's interested. Yeah, definitely. So, I think on the back of this podcast and everything we're working towards, we've got quite a lot of interest in having more and more players join us next year. So it's going to be interesting to see how we manage that. I think we'll have some exciting announcements for you at some point in the future. But yeah. That I mean, we should probably call it there, chaps, because we're getting into quite a long episode. But maybe we could do a quiz next week.
Should we have a quick look at key battles just quickly?
Yeah, go
just
for
a
it.
little gloss spot. Like, get them up. Come
on. Put him on the spot there, Siege.
Yeah, I was about to switch off. I was like, "See you later, boys. Bye."
About to hang up.
Right, here we go.
Any take your fancy, lads, this week?
I mean, Ben versus Charlie could be interesting, especially in their both in awful form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
There's a bit of paddle rivalry. Jennings and Rafaro going a bit of
Yeah,
paddle
nice.
rivalry there.
Quite
who's
like
the-
Nixie and Gazzy T.
Balf and,
Yeah.
Balf and Smithy as well. Balf and
Oh,
Smithy's a big
yes.
one.
Smithy's been in
Where's Andy
amazing
Jackson
form.
this week? Where's Andy Jackson?
He's
this
got
week?
Fraser. That's a huge one. 13th, 14th in the league.
Oh, that's a definitive game. That
Playoff
is because if
fight
Andy
going on there.
continues, yeah, Andy's
Yeah.
in some
There's a
form
lot
at
of
the moment.
there's a lot of top against bottom in this week, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could see people further cut adrift. We could see people extend their leads at the top. The Nixie versus Gazzy one's really intriguing. I'm going to be keeping my eye on that because obviously I want to beat Charlie to have any chance of going back to top. So I want Nixie to lose. So actually,
Yeah, I think,
I want City to do well against Newcastle.
I think Nixie said to me that him and Peeps were the only ones to win in the top 8 this week. Which really sorted him. In the week just gone, which is obviously that's massive. So then if the lads at the bottom can do a proper shift this week, that would be unbelievable for the league.
I'm on it. Don't you worry, lad.
Come on, mate.
I'll do one over Dave and get us. I'm going to go on some run now. You watch. We're going to win 9 in a row and make the playoffs.
So we want Butler, Jennings, Jordan, Charlie, Luke, Gazzy T,
Gassy.
Trotty and Nick. We don't give a shit. Dassy and Farney to beat me. We don't want that. But yeah, if all those lads can win, that would be unbelievable for the league. All right,
we're on it, lads.
I just want to sign
Boys
off
at the
and
bottom
say,
of the table unite.
I just want to finish and sign off this episode by saying how immensely joyful I would be if one of the commissioners, i.e. Alex Butler, ended up having to build a trophy this season. And with that, may the fantasy gods be with you, because I need them to be with me. See ya.
See ya. Good luck this weekend.
It's the Sonny and Shah Fantasy League.
And even though Son has left for the MLS,
our head-to-head league is still the best. Hosted by
Alex,
Ben,
CJ,
ABC.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
It's another fantasy podcast.
Oh, fuck me.